Okay. Okay, it says I'm live. Hang on, am I live? Well, what's going on here? Can you guys see me? Weird. Okay, I can't tell what's going on from this thing over here. Okay, well, I'm not going to worry about that then. I'm just going to, we'll put this over here. I'll try to check in on the view count and whatnot. How am I going to do? You know what? That's fine. I guess I'll leave this here. Now everything's all discombobulated. Yeah, that'll be all right. I'll just, what am I going to do here? You know, when things don't go the way you plan, that just messes everything up. Okay, so let's see. So the Dominator's here, Nasal Penny's here, and Ann 77, Kate Manda, and Matthew. Hey, how's it going, everybody? It's good to see you. Happy Saturday. You know, I just realized as I was turning this on that I had the date wrong in the title. Man, what a screwball sometimes, you know? Heebie-jeebie. I hope everybody had a good week. I had an okay week. I got a new, oh well, it's I'll show it to you guys next time. It's a little French press thing for, I'm using it to make chicory. I've decided I'm going to give chicory a try for a replacement for coffee. And yeah, so I got the French press for that. My brain just did a little, that thing over there distracted me. Time traveler. Time traveler in what way? Something got in my ear. There. Anyway, anything else to report on recent events and the such? No, I guess that's, yeah, I mean, life is what life is. It goes and goes, right? I mean, so, yeah, I mean, that's it. So anyway, I guess what I will do is to start this evening off is I will, we're going to do Code Breaker tonight. So let's flip into the gaming mode of this. There we go. And there I go here. Excuse me. That looks like everything should be okay. I hope that what it's sending is what you guys are receiving. Because that's the thing that's weird over here at the YouTube thing. It's like the monitor that shows me what you guys are seeing. The thing I look at only says what I'm sending. And they're almost always the same, but anyway, it just is unnerving. Hey Ben, how you doing? Hey the Wizard, how's it going, man? Alright, anyway, so let's see, how many people are here? 17. I'll give it a few more minutes before I click off the timer. So there we go. I have to remind myself that it's there because now it's buried. Let's do the basic. Hey, red is in the puzzle. What do we know? Let's try orange. Oh, we got a comment. I'm doing okay, Ben. I'm doing okay. so now I need a yellow. Oh, here we go. Well, I don't know. I mean, it's all the same, isn't it, Matthew? I mean, you know, whether you're, I mean, I guess it's good because you're here early because that means you get to see more of the program. But, you know, it's like, it's kind of the same, isn't it? I mean, man. I wonder if it's psychosomatic. I start getting this weird, having to clear my throat all the time. And well, red is the one that can't be right? So, why did I put it there again? I guess is silly, isn't it? No, it is. What am I doing? Dude, get your head out of your ass, man. It's a black peg there. Man, all right, so yellow's out of it, though. So let's just move orange 1. And then let me check. I think it looks like some comments might have shown up. Oh, green is in. Okay. Hey, Dylan. Hey, Ann. 77. Well, I'm glad you're enjoying them. I mean, I mean, I'm only going to do them every so often because, to be honest, they're not terribly popular. But you're probably only going to get one every month or so, or you know, something like that. But yeah, so I don't know. Get more people to watch them, and then you know, then I'll have people banging the doors that make me make them. But hey, Philip, it's good to see you. Or see evidence of you. I always feel weird saying to see you because like I can't see any of you, but you know I feel like I'm seeing, well, the evidence of you, right? There's assuming this all isn't some just big weird AI trick, to make a fool of me, then then there's people out there on the other sides of those texts, and they're you guys are typing stuff. Okay, I'm going to go back to trying to finish this this puzzle here, whatever we want to call it. Sit up straight, Bill. Okay, so we know red. Well, the good news is since green got scored a white necessarily, it has to only go there, right? That's the only place left for it to try. So, boink, that goes there, and then we move orange over 1. And now let's go to this. And, okay. The red is going to be fine. We know the green is fine already. And it's not the orange, so the orange needs to move. So the orange needs to go here, which means that it was this light blue. Which means now it's one of these 3 that goes into that spot, so. Nope, now we just try the next one. Let's try the purple one. Oops, people upstairs. And, nope, try the last one. Well, at least we, it's actually kind of pleasing, to fill up the whole board. And I kind of like the patterns. You know what I mean? I don't know. Yeah, no, I think I don't know, something about these patterns. I feel like I should come up with something to do with them that would be interesting. I was talking to a friend of mine, and the idea of like using them as like the basis for some kind of color scheme for T-shirts for, that sell as online merch for, the channel or something. I don't know if I'll ever do such things or not, but who knows, maybe. Stuff like that crosses my mind now and again. All right, so let me move this back over here. So now I can see this over here better. Okay. Sir Stabby. Well, I'm glad you're digging the catatonic, man. I'm happy to oblige. It's because one of my favorite words too. So I'm happy to throw that one in, just for catatonic. Here we go. Everybody can have it. Well, let's have some catatonic over here too, just for good measure. Anyway, hey Tim, how's it going, man? And 77, okay. I didn't say I was canceling them. I just said that they're not going to be as often as everything else. So don't get too amped up. Dominator, let's see. Well, see, there you go. I think maybe it's I need to do better thumbnails. I've discovered that the people seem to respond to particular types of thumbnails, I'm figuring. And so I'm thinking maybe that has something to do with it. But I don't know, maybe I'm, Oh, yeah, that does make sense, Matthew. That's an interesting idea. Right, that's an interesting idea. Hang on a second. Let's kind of think about that for a second. That could be. I don't know that I'm going to do anything about it as far as like T-shirts or anything goes. I might as well play around with the idea just for the hell of it, right? Oh, you know what? There's enough people. I'm going to go ahead and click the timer off. So, okay, here we go. Timer is started. And off it runs. Okay. So here, let's just redo this. We can just play it again. Right, so like we would need, there's 8 things here. So I'd need 8 distinct little sounds that I could make. Right? And then, it'd need some way of denoting that it was that color and whether it was getting a black peg or a white peg. I guess I just have to have one black peg sound and one white peg sound, and when you placed that colored peg in, that you made its appropriate scoring peg along with it, I guess. Yeah, I guess that's what you'd have to do, right? Man, I'm going to think about that. I'm going to give that some serious thought. Because really it means I need 10 different little sounds to make that I could readily kind of... I don't know. I'll think about that. That's a great idea, though, man. Thank you for that. My week's been okay. Pretty uneventful. I think I was telling you earlier that I got a French press sort of thing so I can start drinking chicory instead of coffee. And so far I'm kind of enjoying it. It's actually given me an idea that's going to be part of a video, so I won't say much more about it other than that. So, yeah. If I could attend a dinner party with one author, one musician, one actor, one politician, and one sports person, who would they be, past or present? All right, so let me think about this for a second. So a dinner party. One author. So there's some people I think it would be really interesting, but maybe like one person I think might be interesting from the author's standpoint would be Charles Bukowski. But on the other hand, I wonder how pleasant a dinner party companion he might be. You know what I mean? He seems like he could be one of those guys that, especially because, of his issues with booze, right? Especially if this would have been happening while I was still drinking, that would have been a really bad mix, probably. Anyway, so probably not Bukowski. Gabriel Marquez, a musician, Jimi Hendrix, one actor. I'll have to think about that. One politician and one sports person. The sports person would be Muhammad Ali. One politician and one actor. I don't know. I'm going to have to think about that for a minute. Politician and an actor. Let me look at a couple more comments and I'll try to remember to come back to that. Yeah, I'm going to try to do more of those story type things put on this because people have been asking about them. So I figured, I'll just try and do what I can do the best I can do, and some of them will suck. Some of them will be better than others, that kind of thing. But, maybe I'll get better at it as time goes on. So, yeah, I'm going to try and do that kind of thing more frequently. And I have an idea of trying to do them in such a way that I could make it be a crossover between my music channel and make it be something that I could kind of easily produce. You know what I mean? So that I'd be able to kind of put them out succinctly together. You know what I mean? Like so that the video would more or less match, you know what I mean? But one would be, just with me doing my voice. One would be, with the music with it and stuff like that. But yeah, anyway, so that, yeah, there's going to be more of the story stuff. Okay, so Sir Stabby 2009. I'll probably use just Sir Stabby or just Sir at some points because, I get lazy. Anyway, so actor and politician, that's what I'm still trying to think of, isn't it? I'm thinking I'm going to arbitrarily say that I'm going to try to think of the actor and the politician should both be women because otherwise this is turning into a sausage fest. So who would I want as an actor, as a woman? What's that chick? She's an actress, a British actress. I think she might be dead. Oh man, I think she might be dead, but I think she used to be married to Kenneth Branagh, or however you say that guy's name. I can't think of her name. All right, so I'll leave that off because if I can't think of their name, then I shouldn't, for the politician, I'd say AOC, just because I'd be kind of curious to meet her in person. Actress. For actress, I'm going to change. I'm going to say Grace Kelly. Largely just because what an odd life. From actress to actual princess. You know what I mean? Crazy. Yeah, anyway. Let's see, so what was that? That was going to be, I said Marquez, Hendrix, wait, I said Grace Kelly and, wait, who did I say for the, AOC for the politician and Muhammad Ali for the sports person. That might be an interesting dinner party, don't you think? You know? That might be an interesting dinner party. I don't know. Okay, anyway. You know, Tim, I haven't really been thinking about doing any more brainy type puzzles. Well, that's not entirely true. I've been thinking about maybe trying to do Klotsky. And so I've kind of, because I have one on my machine here, and I thought about doing that, but I just, the couple of times I've tried playing it, I've kind of sucked at it. And I don't like the idea of just it being just me staring at a puzzle, you know, while you guys watch me stare at a puzzle, you know. So I like to have some aptitude for it. And it seemed to me that I did okay at it in the past, but for some reason I'm struggling with it. So maybe I've deluded myself. But the other thing I want to do is, I haven't done it yet, but I want to start making mine test videos, which is sort of a Minecraft. It's an open source thing that apparently has a lot of support and is really powerful in the building side of things, which is what I'm interested in doing. I just want to make spaces then to just wander around in virtually, so to speak, you know. And then as I wander around, I'll just babble about nonsense, and that'll be, you know, fodder for videos, right? And actually, I could use that for music videos too. That'd be kind of interesting. You know, yeah. So anyway, so I'm gonna spend some time trying to figure out that mind test thing. Okay. Hey Ben, hola, hola, hola. Emma Thompson, right? That's the other chick. So yeah, you know, if I could have two actors, then I'll have both Emma Thompson and Grace Kelly. That would be interesting. Okay, Tim. I'll see you when you get back, man. Hey, Polly Blank. Let me look into the camera. I always never freaking remember to look into the camera. I'm always looking either at the chat thing or what's going on one of the windows, because I'm either playing the game or it's something to do with the OBS thing has my attention, or I don't know. Yes, please do that. Please do that. Which the mind test thing? Is that what you mean, Catmandia? Yeah, it's going to happen. You know, hopefully soon. Actually, it was going to happen like in the next couple of videos, but I just got I'm behind, so there's supposed to be a video out tomorrow, so we'll see if I can manage to make that happen. But the original Magazine pieces, yeah. Oh, you know, that might be a thing to do for kind of a cool show and tell thing. Because, yeah, my mom's set is like this antique Mahjong set that's actually on bone or whatever. Bone or ivory or something. I hope it's bone, frankly, just because, you know, well, it's already passed and done, you know, whatever, but you know, the whole ivory thing bothers me, especially as much as I like elephants. But anyway, yeah. Mahjong, yeah, I should do that, absolutely. Oh, cool. I didn't know that. I mean, it seemed to me that I had seen somebody else do Minecraft stuff with. I think the French Whisperer had a Minecraft video too. But yeah, so you know, it gave me the idea just because it seems like a cool way of making spaces, you know, and that would interest me, you know, because a lot of times the stuff I want to do is more auditory as far as the videos. but I need to have video. I don't like just having a picture up there and have all the audio happening. That's like, oh, come on, man. It's like we're in the 21st century. It's like, make some audio or make some video to go with your audio. It's like, so, yeah, that's the plan. Anything in my past that would lead me to think that I would do broadcasting? No, and that's an odd thing because I guess it is sort of broadcasting, isn't it? But as far as this doing the live stream is, right? I mean, it's like a call-in show basically, except for you guys are typing and I'm answering it that way. And of course, it has an ASMR theme to it, right? But yeah, but otherwise, doing being a content creator. Well, having been in bands, especially having been in bands and being a young person that grew up, let's say I guess, I don't remember when MTV turned itself on. It was the early 80s. It was like 80, 81 or something like that. I just remember I was, in my mid to late teens. Maybe it was later than that. Maybe it was 82. Something like that, somewhere in that time frame. But so video going along with music kind of was a thing that was like, wow, it made sense, and everybody kind of went along with it just because of there was already precedent for it with things like Song Remains the Same and 200 Motels and whatever. But anyway, so that certainly impacted my psyche, and so the idea of making content, like being in a band that put out videos, I mean, that kind of thing seemed to kind of be in my head. But the idea that I would be responsible for all of the aspects of the content, from conception to the making of it, to then the editing of it, to then the oh, that sucks, can it, let's start over again, that whole thing. Yeah, I don't know. Nor did I realize how much work it is to just to get out simple videos. I mean, most of the times I can do videos fairly straightforwardly and it's not horrible, but it's just usually it's weird things like weird ground noises that I didn't notice when I was setting the mics up, but then when I go to do the editing, it's there, and it's like you try to do noise reduction or something like that to get rid of it, and it's hard to get that kind of thing out without affecting other sounds, and a lot of times the trade-off is just not worth it to me, so it's just like, just do another one, dude. It's not the end of the world. So yeah, but anyway, yeah, so yeah, I don't know, the band thing, making content maybe a little bit, but in some ways no. Some ways yes, some ways no. I don't know. Have I ever played Minecraft? No, I have not. I've seen people do sort of playthrough things on YouTube, but it was kind of something that I had going on in the background. I wasn't really paying attention. So yeah, so I guess the short answer is no, I haven't played Minecraft. But it seems to be popular, and it seems to kind of offer some interesting things that would be cool for me to mess with. Wow, Matthew, thank you very much. What instruments do I have, or do you have programs on your computer that simulate instruments? I have both. I have software synthesizers that I use for some of the music that's in actually, is there any of that? No, I guess most of those sounds that you would find on my music channel would be from my keyboard. I have a keyboard. It's made by Ensoniq. It's from the 90s. That's how long I've had the thing. It's a digital performance keyboard, so it has weighted keys, and it has some basic sounds on it that are like piano and organ and that kind of thing, and a few other things on there, and of course a whole percussion thing. And I've got my guitars. I have an old bass that's a piece of crap. And my guitars are a Rickenbacker 620 that's from the 70s. I don't know exactly what year, but some guy told me once, and I think it was like 77 or 78 or whatever. And I have a EVH Wolfgang Standard, which is the cheap one from Indonesia. I shouldn't say cheap. It's inexpensive, so cheap I guess fits. But It's not badly made at all. It's really, really well made. But so those are the instruments I have. But if you go to any of my videos, there's a link, and there'll probably be one in the description for this, to my SoundCloud, and the most recent thing on there, it's called How Much, I guess. Anyway, the bass line in that song is made by a software-based sound that I trigger with the keyboard, but the synthesizer is actually in my computer. So I don't know if that answered your question to your satisfaction. I hope. I don't know. If it didn't, chime in and I'll clarify anything more. But anyway, again, thank you very, very, very much for your generosity. It means a whole lot to me. I mean, yeah, it's kind of, well, it's 20 more steps in a direction of goodness for me. So thank you very much, man. I need some more water. Anyway, 3 cheers for Matthew, everybody, please. Thank you. Anyway, let me get back to the game here, and then I need to keep track of the timer because I want to make sure I leave enough time for triggers for the end. Oh, another thing I was going to try. I'll wait until I am not playing the game. I think but I was going to try playing around with those lights. These cheap little lights that I bought online from Amazon for trying to help me get better lighting in here. I've decided after getting these, it was like, yeah, they help a lot, but I think what I have to do is just wait and save up and actually buy decent lights. It's like I've decided I'm going to get a decent camera too. I was going to hope to get it this last time of getting my YouTube money, but life happened and things came up, and well, no camera this time. But yeah, why am I talking about getting cameras and stuff? And green's in it, so we'll just try that, I guess. And there was orange. Now let's put in the light blue. Oh, well, so it's not the right green. And light blue's not in. Let's see what we have here. Well, Matthew, I would encourage you to get into it, man. There's a lot of software available that's really, really cool. I mean, you could get away with having, a very inexpensive sort of keyboard thing that had very little, native stuff on it, but it would just act as sort of like a either MIDI trigger or a USB. You can get a USB, either MIDI to USB plug, or a lot of keyboards now just have a straight USB connection now. And you could just do everything software-wise, man, Or you don't even need to use a keyboard. You could, since you're just kind of starting off, I don't know what kind of music you think you want to play, but there's a lot of interface devices that, and I can't even think of any of the names of any of them, but there's a lot of things that are a lot more grid and pad oriented, that are purposely designed to get musicians to give them the opportunity to think not in terms of like, traditional, musical instruments. That because, like a lot of digital instruments are, what they are is they're just an analog of an analog instrument, if that makes sense. You know what I mean? So you're taking an analog instrument and then you're trying to make something that's analogous to it that's triggering digital stuff, right? And so anyway, so there's new surfaces that you can play with and the like, but yeah, you can do it all on computer now. And I know a lot of people, like especially in my generation, are like, oh, these damn kids using computers, and it's like, man, let them make music. However the hell they're going to make music? Who are you to say what it is, man? That bothers me. Oh wow, Kate Manda, that is fantastic. Thank you for your generosity too. Holy mackerel. You guys are just amazing. Thank you. Holy mackerel again. GB. Let's see. Well, I intend to keep up the work as, as for as long as I can, well, as long as I can, basically. There's that. Anyway, everybody, 3 cheers for Cape Manda. So, hee-haw, thank you. Did I ever want to make a career of performing? Yeah, for a long time that was what I was going to be trying to do, but I never got out of a situation where I always ended up having to have a day job. None of the bands I was ever in were, got any traction enough to where, I couldn't, I just had to have a day job. And so none of them, you wouldn't have heard of any of them. So, but that was the intent for a long time. I mean, that's a part of the reason why I ended up going back to school. And even then, when I was in school, I was thinking I was still kind of doing the band thing on the side a little bit. But yeah, so yeah, it was always kind of the thing to do, but I just could never figure out how to. Part of the problem, well, a big part of the problem, was that I was fucked up, blackout drunk. You know what I mean? That that can kind of keep you from doing a whole lot of stuff. All right, so let's try green here, I guess. Let's try orange there, I guess. Let's try dark blue here, I guess. Oh, I could just put these in. There's just 2 colors left, the 2 spaces. I guess I could have done that before with those, but oh well. Holy mackerel, so which ones are right? I'm going to say that orange and green are right. So there's the green, here's the orange. And let's move the dark blue here. Let's move this one here, and let's put the purple there and see what that does. Uh-oh. No, well, oh well. So let's see where we got. Oh no, it's no new comment, so there's just that. Let's play one more time then. Let's just do my normal methodology. And 2 of them, so let's try red and let's try orange. And let's put green. See what that gets us. And I don't know if it's still the same 2 or not. I'm going to assume that it is. Let's put red there. And orange can go here. Let's try light blue. It looks like there's another comment over there for me to look at, but I know it's hard to tell out of my peripheral vision. Oopsie daisy, what'd I do? Okay, well, so I made some bad assumptions here, or bad guesses, or whatever. To shave off my beard. I don't know that I could come up with the figure off the top of my head. I mean, part of me thinks, dude, just, get a lot of money, you can grow it back. But then part of me is like, dude, that's like asking somebody to, to alter part of the, how they express themselves as a human. I mean, I realize it's not that big a deal. I don't do anything. I just let it grow. But, it's kind of, psychologically, it's become, I'm kind of used to it just being there and part of my identity. So, I don't know. What if somebody offered me $50K to shave the beard? See, I don't know, $50K, it's like I don't really want to shave the beard, but I could do a lot of things for my family with $50K, But, I don't know. I guess that's my answer is I don't know. Okay, well, I know it's not red. How's that? Because since we got all white pegs here, and red couldn't go in those 3 spaces anymore, so we tried it here and here both, and there's no black pegs in evidence anywhere, so red is not it. So the 2 colors out of here are orange and yellow, and orange can't be in any of the 3 spots it's already been in. So let's put it in that one, I guess. Yellow can be in anywhere it hasn't been yet, which has just been any place. But that means that green is in the puzzle. And I think that has us up to what we can actually sort of get at right now. Okay, what do you know? I'm going to say orange is right, just because it doesn't have too many more things to try. I'm going to say green is right for a similar reason. I'm going to say yellow goes over here, and dark blue goes there, and then purple. Let's try purple. Nope, I went wrong. Okay, so bump. Let's walk through it. If it's green, that meant that orange is wrong. So that means orange has to go here, right? All right, but if it's green and not orange, that means it's either yellow or the dark blue. So let's say that it's the dark blue, and then that puts yellow over here, and then that puts purple over here. Let me make sure that that's actually consistent with everything. So down here, both the orange and the yellow have score white. That's fine. Down here, the orange scores white, and the green scores white. That's fine. Down here again, the orange scores white, and that's it, because, yeah, that's fine. The orange scores white, the dark blue and the green both score the black, right? And the yellow scores the white. I think that this is the only one here, right? Yep. Okay, let's see if it works or not. Nope, it did not. So it wasn't the green. Let's try the orange. Doesn't even necessarily have to be those. I guess it could be one of the yellow or the dark blue as well. Let's see, does this get me anywhere? So if orange goes there, if orange goes there, dark blue could be the other black peg there, right on this row. Green would have to go here. Yellow would have to go here. And that would leave purple there. Does that work? Black peg, white. Maybe. I don't know. Something about it bothers me. Let's see. So, a white peg and a white peg. The green gives us a white peg. The orange gives us a white peg. The orange gives us a white peg. The yellow gives us a white peg. The green gives us a white peg. The orange gives us a black peg, and the blue gives us a black peg. Down here, the blue gives us a white peg. Green gives us a white peg. Orange gives us the black peg. Purple and yellow both give us the last two white pegs. Now this row is black, white. I think that's it. Let's see. Well, I mean, maybe there's another one, but that seems to work. What do you know? Okay. Let me see what I missed here. The last time I shaved the beard was a couple of days before my sister's 40th birthday. So I just used that the birthday of the beard is her 40th birthday. So that would have been the 26th of November in let's see, if she was 40, that meant I was 43, so I would have been 40 in 2005, so 2008, I guess. That November. So that's the last time, I shaved. What, no Colonel Sanders? I don't get the reference. Oh, there you go. Tim knows. All right. Didn't even need to answer. Potamus, I think you mean, so I would be dictating that everybody would have to be reading these things and listening to these things or listening to these things. What would I, watch one movie. I don't know, one movie, that's a tough one. Because why would I choose a movie? Because it's one of my favorite movies, because that's, obviously a strong thing. Or is there some thing in it that I'm trying to convey to somebody? It's like, why you should see that movie as an important movie because it's, cultural significance, not necessarily that it's my favorite. I don't know. I don't know that it's among my favorite films, but I think it's one that I think is worth everybody watching. Is Doctor Strangelove, which is another Kubrick one. But a lot of you will probably remember that 2001 is one of my three favorite. That House of Flying Daggers and Good, Bad, and the Ugly are my three favorite movies. Or I could just say that you have to watch all three of those. Just to usurp the control of how the game works. But if I had to only pick one, I'd pick Doctor Strangelove, just because of the humor of it and the politics of it and the whole thing are I think worth seeing. Plus, I'm a big fan of Kubrick's direction. Book to read. I don't know what would be a book that everybody should read. Again, I don't know. I mean, part of me would say make them read something like William S. Burroughs or Marquez or something. But I'm thinking, what would be something that people should read? Because what is there going to be some value in it? It would be I don't know. I'm not even sure I'm happy with Doctor Strangelove. I'd have to think about that one some more. Which one are you oofed about, Canyon Lark? About Doctor Strangelove, or what was it? How I learned to stop caring and love the bomb, or something like that. Anyway, what time is it there? So I've got. Let me play a game of Ring, and then I will probably turn off the gameplay mode and start doing the triggering stuff. Like tapping in the jar and that kind of thing. That way I can do a little bit more stereo back and forth type nonsense. Okay, magenta is there. Purple is in but not there. Purple is there, magenta's there, purple's there. Okay. So there is no dark blue. Light blue is right there. Okay, so magenta, purple, light blue. We got a little triangle going here. magenta. Let's try green there. Nope, we're going to keep the purple, so it's going to go where the dark blue was. Okay, now I want to keep that. So this is going to be one of these three. It's not that one. We want to keep magenta, so we're going to be here. Right on, so now we want to get over to here and make that red. I should be there. I should be there. I should be there. I should be here. Let's turn this red. And what do you know? Okay. So let me go back into here like that. And I'll put this over here like that. And I can put that there like that. Okay, I think that'll do a thing. Oh yeah, Clockwork Orange is great. Man, it's it's one of those things that it's great and it's also disturbing. It's all get out, right? I mean, just like yikes. But yeah. Anyway, so I'm gonna before I start brushing mics and the like, I was gonna try to do some mood lighting. Play with, because these things have these buttons, right? You've probably noticed I've been kind of half-assedly. Oh my goodness, how's that for bright? That's too much, man. I like the one where it just slowly fades from one color to the other. I think I missed that. Oh, that's not it. I'm sorry, you guys. It's just I don't know, it just amuses me. Is this the one here? And I think if I do this, does that change that? How fast it goes, or that changes? I don't know. Is that too annoying? It seems like it's awfully annoying. Let me go back a thing here. So I think, let me try this. I think if I do this, then do that, and then go back to here, and then I think now if I do this, there now I think if I do this, right? There we go. That's much better. I feel like that's much better with the lower. That blinky blink fast one is crazy though. Oh, that's red and green. That's a little crazy. How about this one? I think this is just multiple colors. All right. I don't know. What do you guys think? Waste of time? Yeah, I'm thinking what I'm going to try and do is if it looks reasonable enough, I think I'm going to turn off the other lights. You know what I mean? So let's see if we can do a similar process here. I hope you guys would tolerate my craziness here. So let's see, we want to go to here, and I want to say we want this to go down, right? And then I want to go come on, where'd it go? Like this. Okay, I think that's as far as that goes. See this, maybe I'll try and do the same sort of thing here. That's what I did on the one video. I tried it, I like the effect. Oh, that's kind of interesting. Let's see, what colors does that do? Does that seem like too, I don't know, we'll give it a go. All right, give me a second here. you know? What do you think? Too spooky? I'm kind of digging it, but, you know, I could see it could be kind of annoying to somebody, you know, so I'll just let it go for a bit, and then I'll let you guys chime in. And while you guys consider it, I will do the jar. How's that? Imagine if somebody like had no idea who I was, and you know, they just tuned into this and just saw this guy doing this thing with this weird jar with a timer going. You know what I mean? What is somebody gonna be thinking about this? Oh yeah, it does, doesn't it? My outfit, yeah. That's funny, Hazel Betty. Oh wow, yeah, I see what you mean about the campfire vibes, man. Yeah. Wow, Tim. Wow. Okay, I have to pause for a second, man. Thank you, Tim. That's really, really, really fantastic, man, and super generous. I appreciate it. You guys have been like all night, just been crazy, showering me with the generosity, and I really, really appreciate it. It means a lot to me. Yeah, yeah. Anyway, so 3 cheers for Tim, everybody. Hip hip hooray, hip hip hooray, hip hip hooray. I forgot to do that for the last ones, but anyway, I apologize, you guys. But anyway, thanks again, Tim. Okay, let's stop with the jar for a bit, and let's do some brushing. How about that? See, I'll start, I guess, it'll be weird because now it's dark and everything. And I'm already so awkward with this mess. Okay, I'm gonna brush. Try to brush lightly over there while let me see if I can get a better position here. I'll see if I can use the camera and kind of look in there and see what I'm doing. So I'll softly brush over there. Hope that's not too rambunctious for everybody. And I'll talk over here. Whisper, maybe a little bit whispering while I'm brushing over there. Alright, let's see. I'm going to do it this way. If I can find myself, yeah, I will get myself something cool. You know, there's a really good chance, Tim, that you probably have contributed money to my next month's cannabis fund. Let me start some brushing over there while I'm brushing over here. Oh, hey, Rambler. Well, I'm glad you came back, man. Tim. Does YouTube take a cut of... I think they do, Matt, but I'm not 100% sure. I'll have to look into that. I do have a Patreon. I don't know whether Patreon takes less of a cut. I know they take some. But the Patreon's like brand new. It's like a week old. But I finally got it. Yeah, that's a link. Should be in the description. If it's not, it's in the description of one of my videos. It's $1 a month. There's no special tiers. You don't get any special perks or anything. It's just basically it's a monthly tip jar. But anyway, it is what it is, and that's that. Yeah, I'm gonna do a PayPal thing. I know that I've watched, what's that guy? Here, I should be brushing while I'm talking, shouldn't I? There's this guy that I used to watch during the election cycle, Scared Ketchup, who did a lot of, satirical political comedy using AI. It was pretty funny, I thought. But he always made a big deal out of people should go to his PayPal sort of tip jar thing there, because I guess PayPal takes the least of the, so if you gave me $1, I would actually get most of that dollar, but I don't know. I mean, I guess I should look into that and see who takes what. I mean, on one hand, for the stuff on the live stream, part of me goes, why are they, why should they have anything to do with taking any of that money? But they are providing the platform, I mean, I don't have to pay any money for the software I have OBS, which is a free and open source thing. But, I mean, you could buy whatever, but, there's options. Or you could just use their own software. But even if I use OBS, I still have to hook up with their software. But it's an easy thing. You just give it a key code, and you type in a thing, and you click a thing, and it goes, and it does a thing. And the software does a handshake behind the scenes, and, away you go. But so, I mean, I don't want to begrudge them, their piece of the action, so to speak. It's just that it's kind of their policies and the way they wield power in other ways. You know what I mean? I don't know. It's just, yeah, I don't know. I don't want to get into that enough. Always with the negative waves. Always with the negative waves. What is it about? Don't hit me with the negative waves until after my coffee or something like that. That's just something that just was it popped into my head because I came across it recently. Just, I don't know, like in the last couple of months or something. So it was kind of freshly in my head. I think it was a clip on YouTube. Oh wow! Well, thanks, Kate Manda. I know that I get a notification that people do join, and I have a few people have joined. I haven't gone and done anything official with it yet, just because I don't know what to do. Even if when I go, oh, okay, cool, there's people. I don't know. Excuse me. Well, I'm not 100% sure that they do, Tim, but I think they do. As far as like taking a cut, but yeah, I'm pretty sure they do, but I'm not 100%. Talk about being redundant. Just say it over and over again, Bill. Okay, let's do the little bit with the beard brush. I think maybe a little bit of brushing with the beard brush. Brushing with the beard brush. And brushing with the beard brush while I mumble about something, well, basically nothing over here. Blah, 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 right? Catatonic. Oh, what was that? The phrase that I used in that? I can't remember. this now. I'm going to look it up. Give me one quick sec. See, I think it's going to be... is this it? Catatonic catacombs constantly cater to captivating creatures. You know what, I'm going to leave that up over here. Actually, I think I'll put it back over here. Because I like that phrase. Catatonic catacombs constantly cater to captivating creatures. Okay, let's see. Well, thanks, Kate, man. I appreciate that. Oh, but yeah. Well, I mean, just, I don't know, maybe other people will like it too. No, it's not consistently anything pleasant, is it? It's just sort of a squeaky, sort of sucking sound, which is kind of bad. I don't know. The vape sound, that was a good sound, though. It's the only downside to, quitting the nicotine. That's a good sound. I quite like this. There's some dog upstairs. I keep thinking I'm going to get photos or something that I could to show you guys the pooches from upstairs, but I always forget about it. Oh yeah, the story of a train ride, Tim. Yeah. Man, that was so long ago. I barely even remember that. I mean, I couldn't even tell you the plot of it right now. I mean, I know it was loosely based upon a thing that actually occurred. To be honest, I couldn't even tell you where the actual thing that I remembered observing and, the part of it, that story, I mean, where the divergence is, you know what I mean? Excuse me. I should go back and revisit that, I think. For myself to go watch it. Maybe it'll give me ideas for future material, How about some, I can do some tapping here. The back of this is pretty good for tapping, I found. I like that tapping. It's kind of soft and sharp, but yeah, there's going to be more childhood stories. There's probably going to be a lot of overlap and repeats in that too, because I'll probably just do them off the top of my head and try to kind of, do a Jack Kerouac sort of a thing, you know what I mean? I mean, I'm not going to get all hyper and, quick paced, with a over-caffeinated coffee drinking, cigarette smoking beatnik, you know what I mean? But, yeah. But do you feel awkward watching and listening to yourself in older videos? Yeah, I think there's times I feel a little cringy at, some of the silly things I say or do, or I don't know, yeah, or sometimes, like I don't like rewatching The Duel just because I think my sound has gotten so much better. And ER's stuff was so much better by comparison, so it makes it just kind of seems but you got to start somewhere. So I guess I just have to, let go of that kind of negative stuff and just, what I've done is there and done. I may go back through the old catalog and cull some things out at some point, but I don't know. I mean, I suppose if YouTube's willing to let it sit there, I might as well just let it sit there, right? I don't normally watch my old videos. I've been thinking I'm going to make a habit of maybe trying to go back and look at, are there any ones that are, obviously so much more of a draw than others or something? Because it seems to me that most of my videos kind of do very similar performance, because it's like I kind of do, it's, not that I'm a one-trick pony, so to speak, but, it's mostly, the sound of my voice, really. That's, I think, that, what drives the biggest success. But, and I suppose to a certain extent, just, that oddball that I am as far as personality could be kind of intriguing or interesting, but, but, what was I saying? My brain just went blank for a second there. Oh, I guess feeling awkward and watching my old videos and stuff, and anyway, I've been thinking about old material and looking at the stuff that's more successful, maybe trying to learn from, past things and have that help me make better, future things. A little embarrassed about, I don't know. I mean, I can't. I mean, there's the one that comes to mind is the dual with ER, because of the difference in sound quality is so obvious. I don't know if embarrassed is really quite the right word. It's just kind of like, It's not like I'm not, going to tell people to not go watch it. It's not like I'm ashamed of it, you know what I mean? It's just, and because I do think there's a couple of things there that I do really well, especially near the end. My final, act, as it were, I suppose. I mean, we both kind of have our big bombs, as it were, at the end, for our mutual assured destruction. I mean, thinking of, Dr. Strangelove, right? That whole... Oh yeah, Stillness. That was a really short one, wasn't it? At least I remember it being pretty short. Yeah, so clearly the kind of poetic story type things seem to be stuff people quite enjoy. So I guess I'm going to have to figure out some way of, well, I don't know, doing them, rather than thinking about, oh, wouldn't it be cool if I, just try to figure out a way of doing them and doing them. But I suppose if I do them, they're probably going to be pretty Kerouac-esque, I suppose, just like slowed way down. Maybe more Burroughs-esque, I suppose, slowed down and edited. Although, I'm not going to go into weird drugs and violence and, debauchery, depravity, I guess, is the better word for thinking about Burroughs. Man, some of his stuff really does get out there, man. Yeah, Podmodus, it kind of was. I mean, I kind of had this idea for a story that was, what would some guy do if he happened upon, these aliens that were, I don't know, because it just seems like what would aliens come here for, right? Would be minerals or something, right? But then, you watch somebody like Isaac Arthur and they point out the idea that, if they were coming to our solar system for minerals, you'd be better off going to the asteroid belt, I mean, if it's material stuff you want, there's no reason to come to our planet, really. So it's got to be something about the planet. Anyway, so in kind of just one night, as I was actually stoned thinking about stuff, I thought, well, wouldn't that be interesting if I just came up with some story and then, anyway, I thought, it was a case of, why don't you just do it, dude? So I did do it. But psychic gifts. I believe they're a phenomenon that we don't understand well. Um, I count myself as religious, even though I'm atheist, and so I do. There's a sense of my existence that I suppose you might call spiritual to a degree. Just because of the fact that I've got human spirit, whatever it is that animates my flesh into being something rather than being dead. Um, uh, so yeah, I mean, I don't know. I mean, yeah, I guess the thing I could say is that there's weird stuff that goes on, but I tend to be pretty skeptical about a lot of things, though, to be honest. Oh man, no need for a headset, man. It's just me, not having anything to say there for a few minutes. That's all. I think I'm gonna go get the chunk of wood. And let's see here. I got my desk is all a mess. It's time to clear it off and reorganize things. Okay, here we go. Starting with the pads of my fingers first. Hey Rob, how's it going, man? Well, you came by, and there's still some time left, so it's not like a total loss, right? I'm glad you could make it though for at least a bit, yeah? Any time is better than no time, man. The evil timer. We have to figure out some way of coming up with a graphic to include with, how that gets displayed, like some kind of mask or something that, so that it can be identified as the evil timer. I don't know, figure something out. Or I guess I could just, instead of calling it time remaining, I'll just call it evil timer. Right? That's what I'll do is I'll just rename that where it says time remaining, because that's the thing I named that timer, because I have multiple timers, right? Actually, I don't use them anymore because they were for brewing tea, but because I brewed black tea and green tea for different periods of time. But right. Thanks, Matthew, for the support. It's one of those things I'm trying to get better at, right? Is disciplining myself to, because it's, it's a quality of life thing, right? So when I do things that are where I'm mindful of my, the health of my spine, that through the course of my day, I just, I'm in less discomfort and all of that. So, so I appreciate you, understanding where I'm coming from, Matthew. House on the Prairie when you were growing up. I never liked Little House on the Prairie. Something about it always made me like really uncomfortable. You know what I mean? I think part of it was that I had family from like Indiana, and there were parts about it that reminded me of parts of my own family. But there's I don't know. There's probably some weirdness that I'll just leave alone because it's probably not stuff I should be talking about in public. But let's just say there's some kind of creepy elements about certain aspects of my family. And they overlapped with some of that stuff so that the Little House on the Prairie kind of got associated in that weird way in my head. So anyway. I never got into the Waltons either. So maybe I just don't like good, wholesome entertainment. Well, I guess if it makes your sister happy, though, right? Let her have it, right? But it's not for me. Blink twice if your family was in a cult. That's funny. Now I'm going to be conscious about how much I blink. Heebie-jeebie. No, my parents were pretty, I think, part of it was they just didn't want to get up and go anywhere early on a Sunday morning. Yeah, you're right, Tim. But yeah, she was pretty strict about it. I mean, for a long time, we didn't have a TV. The TV kind of came in and out of existence in our household for largely because my mom would just get really upset about the whole, I don't know, she just found TV to be sort of, maybe not the best thing in the world. And I mean, she liked PBS, but that was about it. But there was times she's like, not even PBS is, worth having it in the house. But when we did have it, I'm sure some of you are going to be bored to death about this because I've told it probably a gazillion times now at this point. But this started even back in the day with broadcast, so even before we had cable. but we'd have TV Guide, and it would come once a week, and then so my sister and I each had a colored marker pen, and we could go through the TV Guide and mark programs we wanted to watch, and we were each given so much time a week, and that was it. You could only watch what you marked. And of course, part of the reason for marking it was to keep track of it, but also part of it was that my mom wanted to have some kind of idea about what we were watching, although she pretty much let us watch what we wanted, but she always kind of kept an eye on what it was. Yeah, I never had a TV when I was a kid, although almost nobody did when I was a kid. That was like rich kids had TVs in their rooms when they, you know what I mean? When I was a kid, just about nobody had their own TV in their room. Well, you know, Matthew, I mean, I don't want to, encourage you to, do any behavior that you're not supposed to be doing or whatever, but, because I don't know, what your scene is, but I agree with you on the sense that, that it's not even just a preference. I think you should be allowed to worship in your own time, right? I mean, you put too many constraints and you formalize it too much into such a way where it detracts from people's direct experience of what's supposed to be going on, then is it really a religious experience anymore, or is it just like something you're doing because you're told you're supposed to do it? And that's more like behavior modification, you know what I mean? So, but anyway, there's my nagging whatever about me being the weird anarchist screwball and atheist that I am, but although as a kid, I think I mentioned this a couple of times too, because when my sister and I went to go visit my grandparents, my grandmother made us go to church on Sundays when we were visiting them, just because it's her house, it's her rules, it's just fine. But we got up early all the time anyway when we visited them, because my grandfather was a former Navy guy. He was a career guy. Started in World War II, but did his full 20 years. He was a submariner. So he was very, like, everything had a place, everything had a time, everything was, I mean, he wasn't like, mean about it or anything with us, but it was like, you got up early because it was, it's time to get up, things to do, places to be, So getting up early on Sunday when I went to church was never a problem. So it wasn't about getting up early, and I actually liked it as a kid because everybody kind of got dressed up, and but after I got older and it kind of sunk in what was really going on, and then I realized I didn't really it didn't fit how I looked at the world, you know what I mean? And it was like kind of, I kind of feel like I just felt like not only was it kind of uninteresting to listen to at that point, because you know how kids are, right? You just like, I don't want to be here, get antsy and stuff. But also after, and I had better understanding of, the fact that it was a worldview thing, I kind of felt like really out of place and uncomfortable, you know what I mean? Well, I mean, nobody was like being mean to me or anything, but I just felt like, I'm taking up a seat that should be taken up by somebody else because I'm not into this, you know what I mean? It's like I shouldn't be here, somebody else should be in this spot. Yeah, that's a good thing, Matthew. I respect you for that. Yeah, Tim, I know what you mean. I had, my aunt was kind of in a scene like that. My grandmother's daughter, actually, but she went to a different church, which my grandmother started going to after a while. But whisper over here, and we're getting down 11 minutes and some change. So let's start. I need to figure out, or I don't need to, but I'm kind of been thinking about the idea of coming up with a like kind of an end down, wind down segment or sequence or something. I used to listen to this guy on he was on one of the smaller college stations here in the Bay Area, and it was like Brother Anthony or something like that was what he called himself. And he had this show on Sunday nights that was kind of just odd, and a lot of times he would just talk about stuff, and there would be that evening's meditation, which was basically just him kind of talking about whatever it was he decided it was. But it was all kind of very worldview sort of. He was very kind of woo in a lot of his, his worldview, but a lot of his views on just sort of people being cool to each other were, pretty groovy. But anyway, he used to do this thing at the end of his radio show every week. That was sort of it was part of his weekly meditation thing that it was kind of this weird sort of just slow down. And I used to really like listening to it, but I don't even remember what station it's on, but I ended up moving to an area where I could no longer receive that station, and I don't even know what the call letters are. And this was years ago, so he may not even be doing that anymore. Excuse me. Yeah, nasal pen, that seems all right. I mean, if you're just given an opportunity to be someplace, then that's all right. I mean, as long as you're not feeling any kind of undue weird pressure on your behaviors and, that kind of thing, then, I mean, I'm not anti-theist, and I'm certainly not anti-religious. I'm just anti when power structures go astray, you know what I mean? And that's, secular as well as religious, power structures. If you have people who telling other people what to do and how to do it when they really should not be doing it, that bothers me. Wow. I've had a lot of friends, Tim, that have talked about similar experiences. It was this whole, like everything was very, very phony in a lot of ways, right? That like there's this whole sort of way you were supposed to be and you're supposed to behave in a particular manner. But at every opportunity when people could get away with it, they actually were kind of not so well behaved and everything, right? It was all this, everything was just on the surface, but below was like people were kind of mean and spiteful and petty about certain things. I mean, certainly it's going to be different places or different things and different groups or different, you know what I mean? Different, Okay, we're inside of 10 minutes now, so if there's any last minute questions anybody has, now would be the time to start. Otherwise, I guess I should start. Maybe, I should do a, I don't know, maybe I should do that. Who is it? Brahms lullaby that does the da 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 da. I'm not going to do that for 7 minutes, though. That's crazy. I can do it for a few seconds, all right? That hit some, not quite right. That's not quite right either. I don't remember it. Anyway. Yikes. Man, I don't understand. There's certain people that get into positions of, power like that over kids, isn't there? And they just, it's like, makes you wonder if they don't, like, get drawn to that kind of position in society because of some lacking thing in their own, like they're trying to fill some hole, by wielding some kind of empty, pointless authority over people, you know what I mean? It's like you're making people do things or treating them badly because you can get away with it, but it's not really accomplishing anything meaningful, You know what it makes me think of is the first part of The Wall, right? That Pink Floyd thing. The whole thing about there were certain teachers, something, bring out every weakness of the kid or something. I can't remember the lyric. And how they end up going home at night and getting throttled by their, what is it, their fat and something wise, I can't remember. Yeah, we're inside of 5 minutes. Potamus, I have a couple ASMR singing videos. And, I've been thinking about how to do a crossover between my music channel and the ASMR. So I don't know how that'll, manifest itself, but there's a couple of other ones too, the Dominator, but that's an original one. Seems to me that is that the only original one I've done? I think maybe so. There's a couple of weird little poem type things, but they don't know, they're not really songs, like, are they? But I do like I'm So Tired by the Beatles, and I did Bike by Pink Floyd, and I did Magic Carpet Ride, which I dedicated to Air Light. Well, I won't go into it, but, yeah, so there's a couple of where I'm kind of trying to do a soft-spoken singing kind of thing. They're, I don't know. I think I'm going to do for the very end is I'm going to do some brushing. If I can set that over there. And we'll do some brushing over there. Do some brushing over there, yeah. Do some very quiet speaking over here. Maybe a little bit of whispering over here. A little bit of whispering over here. Just a little bit of whispering over here. And I'm going to switch now. And I'm going to do some brushing over there and some whispering over here. And some brushing over state mic, hey. You know, that might be an interesting video to make as far as the creating, music thing, Matthew, but I don't know. I'll have to give that some thought. Valentine's Day stories from... well, it's a little late for that now to go into any stories like that, but, most of my womanizing was... I don't know if there's anything that's worth mentioning to anybody, frankly. I did not have a lot of game. I was not really all that much of a womanizer, to be honest. Not that I didn't desire being, I was often pretty clumsy, as far as like awkward at what to say at certain times with women and that kind of thing. Largely because the part of the thing was that I had this mismatch thing that happened to me like a lot, where I'd be attracted to a woman, but she really couldn't give me the time of day. But then there'd be women who were attracted to me, and I wasn't attracted to them at all, So you know what I'm going to do? Let me go back to here. I'm going to say, let me get rid of this. I'm going to make a new timer. And I'm going to say it should be, I want it to be 1 hour. And come on, 30 minutes, 0 seconds. We're going to name this one okay. There we go. See? I don't know. Is that? Can you guys read that at all? Well, I'll wait to see what you guys think about the evil timer label, and then otherwise I'm gonna sign off for the night. It's this whole weird delay thing. I'm never sure how to wrap things up like that. Okay, cool. Thanks for letting me know. Okay, you know what? I'm gonna leave that be then for tonight. And well, next Saturday night, gang. Yeah, there you go. Aloha, siblings.